Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories, a podcast where I normally take listener ideas and turn them into bedtime stories. But today is a very special day in Canada. It is Canada Day. At least the day this is recorded. You might not be listening on Canada Day, of course. And for some strange reason, I woke up wanting to do a very Canadian story, and this is what I came up with. It's kind of silly, but I hope you enjoy it. If you like the podcast, don't forget to follow us, rate us, review us on whatever platform you're listening on. Hit that like button if you're on YouTube. I think if everyone who was listening on YouTube regularly hit that like button, it would make a really big difference to other people finding it. Maybe we can experiment. Why don't you just hit it now? Did you do it? Thank you. Now, if you're not in Canada, you might not know that Canada Day is the celebration of the Confederation of Canada, the day we became a country. And we like to celebrate, or at least my family likes to celebrate, by eating Kawartha Dairy ice cream and watching fireworks. And that's exactly what we're going to do today after I finish this episode. Now it's time to get as comfy as you can in that bed, close your eyes, and just imagine yourself possibly taking on the character of Martin in this story. Martin grew up in a small town in Ontario, Canada, where people enjoyed hunting, fishing, four-wheelers, wood stoves, frozen lakes, and boiling the lifeblood out of trees into a sort of concentrated substance most people know as maple syrup. To most people, maple syrup was a breakfast topping, but to Martin, it was tree blood. "Could you please pass the tree blood?" he would say at breakfast. His mother would close her eyes for one full second and say, "Martin, please stop calling it that." His father would usually shrug and say, "Well, he's not wrong." Martin was 11 years old, which meant he was old enough to help with real jobs around the property, but still young enough to believe deep in his bones that someday, somehow, he might become a superhero. He'd been wishing for powers as long as he could remember. Every birthday when the cake came out and the candles were lit, Martin made the same sort of wish. "I wish I could fly," he whispered one year. "I wish I could throw big stuff," he whispered the next. "I wish I could run so fast that people would only see a plaid blur," he whispered another time. By the time he was 11, he had thought about it a lot. He didn't want boring powers. He didn't want the ability to, slightly warm up soup with his finger or something like that. He wanted the classics. Flight, super strength, super speed, maybe even laser eyes, though he was worried that might cause some sort of forest fire where he lived. The incident happened during maple syrup season, just after the winter. Martin was helping his family gather sap from the maple trees behind their house. At 11, he was actually sort of useful. He could carry proper buckets, stack wood, help check the taps, and most importantly, complain adamantly about how much work he was doing. The maple syrup boiling station sat near the sugar shack in a clearing. Steam rolled out of the evaporator in sweet white clouds. Firewood crackled, sap bubbled. The whole place smelled like spring, smoke, and sugar. Martin loved it. He loved the sound of sap dripping into buckets. He loved the mud. He loved the steam. He loved that making maple syrup was basically a normal Canadian activity where he was. Then the sky changed. At first, it was only darker, but then it turned kinda strange. The clouds got a sort of green glow around the edges. The buckets on the trees began to rattle. Martin looked up at the sky. "Is the sky supposed to be that color?" he asked.
Nope," his father responded.
His mother stepped out of the shack and looked at the treetops. "Everyone, inside, quickly!" But before they could move, lightning crackled across the forest. It wasn't normal lightning, though. For some reason, it was green. A jagged bolt tore down from the clouds and hit a maple tree. The whole trunk flashed like a giant glow stick. Another bolt slammed into the ground nearby, spraying mud and steam everywhere. Martin's mother grabbed for him when the biggest bolt struck. It smashed directly into the maple syrup boiling station. The evaporator exploded with green light. Sap hissed, steam blasted outward, metal screamed, and the lightning began to chain. A bright green arc snapped from the boiling station and hit Martin right in the chest. For 1 second, the entire clearing disappeared in light. His parents screamed his name. Then, everything went quiet except for the rain, wind, and of course the soft dripping of sap from the trees. Martin was laying on his back in the mud. His mother ran to him and dropped to her knees. Martin, can you hear me?" His father slid in beside, checking his arms, his face, his chest, his pulse.
Buddy, talk to us."
Martin blinked. Then he coughed. Then he sat up and looked at the absolutely destroyed boiling station. "Did the tree blood machine explode?" he asked. His mother gave him a very, very strong hug. His father stared at him in disbelief.
"You're okay."
Martin touched his face. "Why does my forehead feel cold?" His mother leaned back and her eyes widened. His father just stared. "What?" Martin asked. His mother swallowed. "Your eyebrows." Martin reached up and felt nothing. His eyebrows were gone. Oh, man. That night, his parents checked him over again and again. Somehow, Martin was fine. No burns, no pain, no injury. Just a smoky jacket, wild hair, and 2 missing eyebrows. By bedtime, the storm had passed. Everyone agreed it had been terrifying. Everyone agreed that Martin was very lucky. No one understood that the maple syrup had changed him forever. The next morning, Martin came downstairs to find that his mother had made pancakes. His father poured homemade maple syrup into a small glass pitcher and set it on the table. Martin's eyes lit up. Tree blood. Maple syrup, his mother corrected. Tree blood, Martin whispered lovingly. He poured a large amount over his pancakes, possibly too much, if that was a thing. He took a big bite. The moment the syrup touched his tongue, a strange warmth spread through his body. He froze. His fork dropped onto the plate. His muscles tingled. His arms stretched. His shoulders widened. His feet pushed against the floor. And his hoodie began to creak. His mother stared. "Martin?" His father slowly lowered his coffee mug. In 3 seconds, 11-year-old Martin had grown into a fully grown man. But not just any man. A gigantic, unbelievably muscular future version of himself with a long beard, broad shoulders, and the general appearance of someone who could chop firewood by just sort of looking at it. His hoodie ripped apart at the seams. Martin looked down at himself. Then he opened his mouth and said in the strongest Canadian accent anyone had ever heard, "Oh, buddy, this ain't right, eh?" His mother screamed. His father screamed. Martin screamed too. But it came out as, "Sweet maple biscuits! What in the name of Wayne Gretzky is going on here?" He ran to the hallway mirror. A huge bearded man stared back at him. Martin touched his face. The bearded man touched his face. Martin gasped. "I got a beard, eh?" Then his clothes began to shift. The shredded hoodie twisted and changed. Red and black plaid spread across his chest. Denim formed over his legs. Heavy boots appeared on his feet, and a belt snapped into place. Within seconds, Martin was dressed like the most powerful lumberjack in Canadian history. His mother pointed at him with a shaking hand. "Why do you look like a lumberjack? And why are you so tall?" "Oh, I don't know, Ma," Martin said, horrified. "I'm all jacked up like a moose in hockey season." "Oh, why are you talking like that?" asked his father. "Oh, I can't stop it, eh?" Martin cried. "The words are just skating right out of my face." He backed away from the mirror, stumbled through the kitchen door, and ran outside. "I need some air there, bud." The moment he stepped onto the grass, his boots lifted off the ground. 1 foot into the air, and then 3, and then 10. He looked down. His mother ran outside and screamed, "Oh no, call the fire department." His father stood in the doorway, still holding the syrup pitcher. "What are they gonna do?" "I don't know," she shouted. "Bring a ladder?" Martin waved his arms wildly. He spun sideways, dipped toward the roof, bounced back up, and nearly crashed into a maple tree. But soon, something clicked. He leaned forward. He moved forward. He leaned backward. He moved backward. He stopped. Soon he was flying left, right, up, down, and in slow circles over the yard. "Oh, I'm getting the hang of it now," he called. After a few minutes, Martin landed clumsily in the yard. His heart was pounding with excitement. This was it. This was the thing he'd wished for every birthday. He had powers. Actual powers. "If I'm a superhero," he said, "I gotta try lifting something, huh?" He bent down and grabbed a rock sticking out of the ground. His father had always said it was probably part of the Canadian Shield, which is why he hadn't been able to move it. Martin pulled, and the rock tore out of the earth with a deep cracking sound. It was enormous. He held it over his head like it weighed nothing. His parents just stared. Martin grinned. "Well, slap a toque on a beaver. That's a big old rock." He threw it as hard as he could. The boulder sailed into the forest and landed somewhere far away with a crash that, well, you could feel in the ground. Then came the geese. At first, there were only a few. They landed in the yard and stared at Martin. But soon, more came. And more. Soon the yard was full of Canadian geese, waddling, honking, flapping. Now, no one in Canada truly liked Canadian geese. People respected them and maybe even feared them, but they didn't like them. And no one liked having them on their lawn because they left behind, presence, we'll call them. Martin stared at the nearest goose. The goose stared back. Then Martin heard a voice in his mind. Not words exactly, more like meaning. Hungry, angry, ready. Martin blinked. You can hear me?" The goose honked. Martin pointed at the geese. "All right then, geese, line up," he said, and every goose immediately waddled into a neat line. His father dropped the syrup pitcher. Martin tried some more orders, too. First, he had them form into a little, sort of goose pyramid. Then, he had them fly around in circles overhead. "I command the cobra chickens," he eventually announced. Martin continued to play around with his powers. They lasted for about an hour. Then, he began to sink from the sky. His beard shortened, his muscles deflated, his plaid shirt, for some reason, just sort of disappeared, and in moments, he was an 11-year-old boy again, standing barefoot in the grass. The next morning, it happened again. Pancakes, homemade syrup, warmth in his body, fully grown bearded superhero with a plaid shirt flying around, throwing things, and commanding geese. That was when Martin understood. It was the syrup. The green lightning hadn't just hit him, it had given him some sort of connection to the syrup itself. From that day on, Martin kept a small bottle of syrup tucked into his sock, just in case. Over the next few months, Martin trained in secret. Well, mostly in secret. It was hard to secretly fly over a field while being followed by 30 honking geese, but he did his best. He learned to fly faster and turn without crashing into things. He practiced lifting heavy stuff too, fallen trees, old tractors, and one time even the back end of his father's truck. He learned to move at super speed, becoming a red plaid blur across the fields of dirt. Most importantly, he learned to command the geese. One goose was sort of annoying. 10 geese were very inconvenient, but 100 geese working together were a natural disaster with wings. Martin trained all through the spring until summer came. July 1st, Canada Day. A day when Canadians celebrated Confederation, argued about the problematic past of Canada, ate ice cream, and watched fireworks. Martin was sitting at home when he heard the CBC News report. Authorities in Minden Hills are investigating after bandits reportedly broke into the municipal storage facility and stole tonight's Canada Day fireworks. Martin froze. Stole the fireworks? On Canada Day? Well, the dogs would probably be happy, but this was going too far. He stood up slowly. He reached down into his sock and pulled out his emergency syrup flask. Martin held up the flask, took a drink, and power surged through him. His body grew, his beard appeared, his clothes shifted into plaid and denim for some reason, and his boots hit the floor with a heavy thump. He stepped outside, looked at the sky, and shouted, "All right, you majestic hissing sky goblins, come to me." And the geese came. They formed a giant V over the town, dark against the summer sky. Martin launched into the air and flew at the front. "Spread out," he commanded. "Search the county. Find me those fireworks before some absolute hoser ruins Canada Day." The geese broke formation and scattered in every direction. It didn't take long. A single goose came honking back after a while. Martin understood every honk. Truck, shed, bad men, fireworks. Lead the way, friend, he ordered. The goose turned, and Martin followed. A few minutes later, he landed in front of an old shed where several bandits were unloading boxes of fireworks from a cube truck. The bandits froze. One of them pointed.
Who are you supposed to be?
Martin folded his arms. I'm giving you one chance, boys. Return the fireworks, apologize to the town, and maybe we can all go and get some Kawartha dairy ice cream. The bandits stared. Then they laughed. One ran forward and punched Martin in the chest. His fist hit Martin like it had struck a steel wall. The bandit yelped and grabbed his hand. Ow! What are you made of? Maple, mostly, Martin said. Another bandit charged, and Martin shifted into high speed. The world slowed. He grabbed a rope from the truck, zipped around the first robber 12 times, and stopped. The robber blinked, and then he fell over, wrapped up in the rope. A third bandit swung a crowbar. Martin leaned aside, still moving too fast to see, and flicked the man gently on the forehead. Not too hard, just enough. The bandit's eyes crossed, and he dropped into a pile of weeds. Oh, sorry there, bud. The remaining thieves grabbed fireworks and tried to run. Martin raised one hand and silently commanded the geese. The sky darkened as the flock descended. At first, the robbers didn't understand. Then, hundreds of geese landed around them. On the roofs, on the trucks, on the boxes, on the driveway, at the edge of the trees. Every goose lowered its head. Every goose opened its beak. And every goose hissed at the same time. The sound was awful. Now, many of you may not know that geese can hiss. And boy, can they. One of them is sometimes a little bit scary. Hundreds of them were an absolute nightmare. So much so that the thieves dropped everything. They ran straight towards the police cruiser that had arrived on the road to check out the commotion and surrendered, just begging for them to keep them safe from the geese. Martin loaded the fireworks back into the cube truck with the help of the police. Then he grabbed the sides and lifted the entire thing into the air. He flew it back to the municipal building. The mayor stood outside, looking kind of worried. Martin landed gently and set the truck down. Oh, I hope you don't mind there, Mayor, but I think I found your fireworks. The mayor stared up at him. Who are you? Martin looked at the crowd. He looked at the geese circling above. He looked at the maple leaf flag waving nearby, and he smiled. You can call me the Maple Guardian. That night, fireworks exploded over Minden Hills in red, gold, green, and blue. High above town, Martin floated in the warm summer air with a bowl of maple ice cream in one hand. Below him, people cheered. Beside him, geese flew in a perfect V. Martin took a bite of ice cream and smiled. Happy Canada Day. And from that night on, whenever danger came to small-town Ontario, people knew to look at the skies. Not for like a bat signal or a spotlight or anything like that, but for a giant flying lumberjack wearing plaid and drinking maple syrup, as well as a terrifying number of geese, of course. Good night, everyone.